Hello and welcome to another video. This is a how much I knit in a week video. As you can see, my background is different. I'm currently in Norway and I thought it'd be fun to film a how much I knit in a week video while I'm actually on holiday. So that's the plan for this week. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. As I said, I'm currently in Norway. I've been here for a week and a day. I arrived Monday last week, and I immediately cast on for a new project when I got here. And I knitted on it as much as I could during the first week, but my daughter was here with me, so we went out every day and did loads of stuff, so I didn't have as much time to knit as I have done since she left. She only left yesterday, so yesterday I got a lot of knitting done. I have done this challenge twice before, so I did it in the summer of 2023 where I knitted 18.5 hours in a week. And then I did it again in March this year, where I knitted 23 hours and 15 minutes. So last year was 18.5 hours in the summer. March this year was 23 hours and 15 minutes, so quite a lot. So I thought I would do it this week. I have kind of cheated a little bit, I guess, because I've chosen this week rather than doing it last week. I did think about doing this when we went to Spain in June, but because we were on the beach every day, we were out and about a lot, I thought I'm just not going to get a lot of knitting done. So I may do this again next year on like a normal holiday where it's not just me. So this week I'm expecting things to be a lot calmer than they were this last week, because I'm here on my own with my parents, and like today they had a couple of appointments that came to the flat this morning, so I just sat and knitted, and then my mum and I have been grocery shopping and running some errands, and after I finish filming this I'm going to film the podcast and I'm going to go out for a walk. So let's talk about what I'm knitting first, and I'll tell you how much I knitted yesterday and what my goals are for this week. So I'm knitting this top. So I knitted one like this when I was here last year in September. Finished it in early October, I think, first week in October, and I loved it, but I wore it a lot last winter and it's kind of worn out a bit. I did talk about it in the last podcast episode, so I'm not going to talk about it a lot here. It's a bit big for me now and it's got quite worn, especially on the back. I knitted it on 3.5mm needles, so this time I've gone down to 3mm needles, which means that for the body I have 320 stitches. So my goal is to try and finish this before I leave, which is next Monday. So I'd like to finish it by Sunday, really. Is that possible? I didn't think it would be, but actually based on how much I've knitted and how much I got how much knitting I got done yesterday, I think maybe I can do it. I would need to finish the body by end of Thursday. So today's Tuesday. So I got today, tomorrow and Thursday to finish the body, and then 3 days to do the sleeves. I think that might work. We'll see. I'm using 3mm needles and lace thread yarn, so that's why it's taking me a long time. But I'm knitting on this. I knitted it's top down, so I knitted the back first, and then the two fronts, and they joined here. And then I joined for the body on Sunday night, but I only knitted a few rounds, like maybe 10 rounds or something. So most of this from here, from the green marker to the purple marker, most of that I did yesterday. So this green marker is where hang on, how can I show this? That green marker is where I split for the body. There we go. That green marker is where I split for where I joined for the body rather. And this is where I was this morning. So I'd done probably like 10 rounds after that yesterday, so I did most of the other stuff last night, yesterday afternoon and evening. So yesterday I knitted for 4 hours and 20 minutes. So today, Tuesday, I have done about, I haven't written it down, I think 40 minutes, an hour, less than an hour this morning, probably about 40 minutes, I think. So not as much as I thought I would get done. So I'm going to, after I finish this, I'm going to record the podcast, go for a walk. I've got to do my nails today because they are really badly chipped, and then I'm going to focus on this. I am just going to focus on this week till I finish it, because I would like to finish it before I go home, because I got several other projects I need to crack on with when I get home. But I measured last night before I went to bed that I had about 26 centimeters left to knit, and that's 13 centimeters a day if I do it in 2 days. Bit less than that if I do it over 3 days. One 25-gram ball takes about, I think one ball is about 13 centimeters. I think to work out that so far I've used 3 balls and a bit. So I think it'll take me 2 more balls to finish the body, and then hopefully one ball each for the sleeves. So that's kind of like a little bit of a guide to how much I need to knit today. But the goal today is to see how much I can knit today and then measure it, so I get a realistic idea of how much I can knit in a day, and then I can see whether I can do it by end of Friday. No, end of Thursday. So Tuesday progress. Didn't knit as much yesterday. Not sure why. I did quite a lot yesterday. So Tuesday progress, didn't knit as much yesterday, which I'm a bit disappointed with, but I did do a few other things yesterday, so I guess that was understanding, but I could have probably knitted more. So that's where the underarm marker is, and I started probably about there on Monday, and I knitted all that. Yesterday I knitted that. 5.5 centimeters I knitted. About 5 centimeters, 5.5. Just measured it, and I think I've got about 22 centimeters left in it. So that means I've got to do, if I'm going to finish it by the end of tomorrow, that means I've got to do 11 centimeters a day, which is quite a lot. So we are going out this morning. So I did try this on earlier just to see what the fit's like, which is why it's on barber cords. I just want to make sure it actually fits, and I got enough now for it to try on to make sure the fit's okay, and the fit's fine. Happy with the fit. But obviously, because it isn't as wide as my first one and it has dropped shoulders, the sleeves will have to be a little bit longer, so there will be a bit more knitting to do on the sleeves. So I've got to try and do 10 centimeters today. It is Thursday morning, and I thought I'd just give you an update on how much I knitted yesterday. So yesterday I was here, so I knitted 5.5 centimeters on Tuesday, and Thursday I did 7 centimeters. It might have been just over 7 centimeters, a little bit more. Yeah, it looks a bit more than. And I started the fifth ball of yarn. I have 12 centimeters left to knit on the body, and I wanted to finish it by tonight, which I don't think is going to happen. Today's been changed a bit. I was supposed to take my mum for an appointment. That's been cancelled. But I have to take my dad for an appointment this afternoon. So I've been shopping this morning, and then I'm going to knit for a couple hours, take my dad out, come back, probably go for a walk. We ran out for quite a long time yesterday because we went shopping, and I also did some work yesterday, so that's why I got less done. But got to get on 12 centimeters in it today, or at least by kind of end of tomorrow during the day. So if I can start the sleeves like tea time tomorrow, then I might still be okay, but we'll see. It is Friday afternoon, so let's catch up on yesterday's knitting. I've done a tiny bit today as well, about 20 minutes. A little tiny bit there, not a lot. I've nearly finished the body, which is good news. I think I have about between 3 and 5 centimeters left. Where is the mark? Okay, there's the marker. So yesterday I was watching some stuff on my phone in the evening, and I noticed that I hadn't pressed the timer. So if I pause the timer when I put that program on, or when I went to find that program, because what I'm trying to do is every time I pick up my phone is to press the pause button. So if I pick that up when I went to put that program on, then forgot to press play again, then there's probably like half an hour that I didn't track. So I tracked 4 hours, but it may have been 4.5 hours. Anyway, I'm sticking with 4 for my official record. So I knitted all that, which is about 10 centimeters. So I really cracked on last night, and I was resisting picking up my phone and scrolling. So yeah, I was trying to focus and knit, and I did measure it earlier. I quite like the lilac sweater I have in this measures 66 centimeters, which is also what this is measuring. I do like that, so I did measure it against this earlier, just to check, and I think I have about, problem is with knitting, you stretch it a bit and then you lift it up and put it back down again and you get a different measurement. So I think I'm going to do about 3 centimeters and then do the garter stitch edging. If I hold it up like that and then scroll up, pull it up. Difficult to tell because it's, yeah, I reckon I didn't have the tape measure in here when I measured it against this, so I reckon about 3 centimeters of stocking stitch and then a couple of centimeters of garter stitch edging. I'm wondering whether I should do a rib edging. I did garter stitch on the other sweaters I've done of this style, but I have the lilac one that's garter stitch, so maybe I should do rib on this one. I've also tried it on earlier just to check the length, and I thought, yeah, I definitely need it a little bit longer. But when I tried it on, I thought, oh, have I made it big enough? I mean, it fits, but it's not as roomy as this one or as my other one. Now, I did want it a bit smaller, but I'm wondering whether I've made it a tiny bit too small. This one, that is. It's okay on just sort of t-shirt like this, which isn't, I mean, this is a little bit big, it's not massive, but yeah, I can't wear anything too oversized under it. But if I get back on track with my weight loss when I get home, which is definitely gone out the window while I've been in Norway, because we've been eating cake, ice cream or chocolate, or 2 of the above every night, and I've also been eating a bit of this. This is licorice segments, and they are my favourite Norwegian sweets apart from chocolates. They're like that, and they're licorice, and they are delicious, and I have eaten a bit of those, and I bought a couple of packs to take home with me, which I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to get to eat them when I come to Norway, although I'm coming to Norway a lot now. I'm going to try and finish the body today. I did try this on earlier, and I think the armhole is okay. It's not that much deeper than it is on this one. So I think I'm going to stick with that armhole, but when I cast off the body, I'll try it on again and just double check, because a lot of my tops are like this one, a bit hot from my walk, where slightly kind of bigger armholes. So I think the armhole's going to be okay, but my plan is to tonight get as much of the first sleeve done as I can. It is Saturday afternoon, and I knitted a lot yesterday. 4 hours and 50 minutes. That was a lot. Right, let me just show you where I've got to. Hang on, all tangled up in my yarn here. So I finished the body finally. I'd hoped to finish it about tea time yesterday. I did finish it a bit later because the rib took a long time. So on the previous versions of the sweater, I've knitted got to stitch at the bottom, and I did that back and forth to make it a bit quicker, but this time I decided to go for a rib. So that's where I was yesterday when I started knitting. So I knitted that. I'm just trying to stay out of the sun a little bit because otherwise it makes my face look funny. So when I was working on the body, I timed myself and I knitted one round in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Not every round is going to be that quick because that is quite fast, but certainly I did knit it. I did it a few times. When I did a rib, I timed myself again. I only timed myself twice, but it was 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So each round of the rib was 2 minutes longer than a normal round. I don't know how many rounds I did, about 10 I think. I have written it down, I think. So I do like the rib. It's not particularly long, and you can't really see it. That's the wrong side. And then I picked up stitches for the sleeve, so I had a bit of a false start, I guess. On the original one I knitted, the pink one I knitted last year, I made the armhole quite deep and quite big sleeves, which I liked, but I kept catching it on stuff. So I had to make the sleeve slightly narrow at the bottom. I had to unpick the edging and decrease the amount of stitches to make the bottom bit the edge narrower because I kept catching it on things, and I caught it on my banister on top of my stairs and ripped it, so which is a bit annoying. So on the light lavender one I made the sleeves a lot narrower, and this one I wanted the same sleeves as on the lavender one, which the armhole was 24 centimeters. When I knitted it that length, I tried it on with this sweater. Now this sweater is quite roomy. It was quite roomy last winter and it's even roomier now. I've lost a little bit of weight. So I probably should have put on a sweater that fits me better and tried it on. But I thought the armhole looks too shallow, so I added a couple of centimeters. I picked up 75 stitches on each side of the armhole for my original pink sweater. So 75 along one side and 75 along the other side. So 150 in total. And on the lavender one, I picked up, 150 on the original pink one. And on the lavender one, I think it was 124 in total, because I had the armholes were shallower. When I picked up stitches from this one, I ended up with picking up 80. And I thought that's way too much. But what I've done is I rewrote my original pattern and I left a section in pink and a section in purple. The pink bit was the sleeves for the pink sweater, the original pink sweater, and the purple bit was the sleeves for the purple or for the lavender sweater. I'd kind of forgotten why there was a different colour. So I just looked at it and I thought, 75 stitches, that must be for the lavender sweater. If I pick up 80, that won't be too bad. So like 80 times 2 is 160 in total. And then as I was knitting, I'd knitted quite a bit, probably like 3 centimetres. I thought, no, this is the pink sweater, which had quite big sleeves, and I picked up more than that. So I went and tried the sweater on again, and I decided to actually sew up part of the armhole. So here I actually sewed up a couple of centimetres. So if you make the armhole too deep and you decide before you knit the sleeves that it's too deep, you can just sew up a bit here. Yes, it's going to be visible if somebody looks into your armpit, but I mean, how often do you stand with your hands like that, and how often do people get close enough to look at it? So I ripped out what I knitted, sewed that up, picked up more stitches. I still have slightly more than the lavender sweater, but only like, I think I have about 10 stitches more or something, which I'm happy with. So I would have gotten further last night if I hadn't made that mistake. So on the sleeve, I got to, so this is, I don't know if you can see, this is where I picked up, and I got to where that marker is. And then today, so far today, I've knitted that bit. But at one point last night when I was knitting, so I wear a smartwatch. It's a Samsung Galaxy smartwatch. And if I walk continuously for 10 minutes, doesn't have to be particularly fast, but if I walk for 10 minutes, it'll automatically start tracking my walking. It does the same thing if I wind yarn by hand. Like swing, especially if I'm using my left hand to wind with, my hand that my watch is on. If I wind the yarn, if I use my right hand, not so much, but it will, after 10 minutes, it will start to track it because it thinks I'm walking. I think I have had it happen with knitting before, but only maybe once. Last night I was sitting there knitting and I was trying to knit quite fast, and I was like, why did my watch buzz? I looked and it started tracking my knitting. Basically thought I was walking, so I was knitting that fast that my watch thought I was walking. But yeah, it is now nearly 3:30. We've been out, run some errands today, and been for a walk with my mum. We drove about half an hour south of here and went for a walk and had a very nice vanilla bun afterwards and hot chocolate, and drove home. So we were probably out for like 2 hours, 3 hours, probably 3 hours. Did a little bit of knitting this morning, then I've done a little bit of knitting since we came back. I'm also cooking dinner tonight, although that's in the slow cooker, so I've got a lot to do. I really desperately need to do a bit of work today on the computer because I was supposed to do it yesterday and I didn't. So I really need to do it today. I set myself a reminder at 3 o'clock and it's now 3:20 and I still haven't done it. And I think I'm going to do a bit more knitting and then go and do some work on the computer because I've got a couple of things I really need to get done. But I want to try and finish the first sleeve today, which I don't think I'm going to manage. I think I've got about 5 more rounds before I can start the decreases. Because this sweater is narrower than the previous one, I do have to make the sleeve slightly longer. And I don't think I'm going to finish the first sleeve today, which means I probably won't be able to finish the second sleeve tomorrow. So I don't think this is going to be finished by the time I leave, but I'm going to try my best. I also need to knit the neckline, but I can do that on the plane tomorrow. I'll probably get that done at the airport or on the plane tomorrow. So let's see if I can get it finished before I land in the UK on Monday. I said tomorrow, I'm here tomorrow. I could probably get the neckline done on Monday at the airport or on the plane. So I want to see, I'd like to finish the sweater, at least the sleeves, by the end of tomorrow, Sunday. But if not, definitely by the time I land back in the UK at 3 p.m. on Monday. It is Sunday morning and I really cracked on with my knitting yesterday. I knitted for 6 hours. I stayed up late because we went out during the day and stuff. I didn't get as much knitting during the day as I'd hoped, but I stayed up late 10:30 to finish the first sleeve. This first sleeve is, I think, 5 centimeters longer than the, maybe not that much. It is longer than the first, the lavender sweater I knitted. This sleeve is 5 centimeters longer than the lavender sweater I knitted. And yesterday I knitted, let's have a look. I knitted most of the sleeve yesterday, but not all of it. I knitted 37 centimeters. From that marker. I was going to do 5 centimeters before I started decreasing, and I measured, and I thought it measured 3 centimeters. I knitted a couple more centimeters. Then when I measured again, it measured 6 centimeters. So I could have started decreasing earlier, which would have made the sleeve quicker to knit, because once you start decreasing, it goes quite quickly. So yeah, happy with that. Rib at the bottom, Icelandic cast off. Didn't move in my hands. I literally did the casting off on my bed last night before I went to bed, because I'm casting off on a 4mm needle, and my 4mm needle was in my bedroom. So instead of coming in here and getting it and going back in the lounge to cast off, I just brought my knitting in here and cast off on the bed before I went to sleep. So today I'm going to knit the second sleeve and the neckline. So my goal today is to get the second sleeve done, all of it. Now, the first one took me 6 hours from there. So that's not a, where is it? That's not a lot. That's what, 3 centimeters or something. But it's where I got the most stitches. Yeah, 3 centimeters is where I got the most stitches. So I'm hoping I can get the sleeve done in 7 hours. I don't think I'll get the sleeve and the neckline done. So my mum asked me last night, do you really need to finish this? What happens if you don't finish this on this whole day? And I said, well, that's fine. But when I come home, if you're watching my podcast before I came to Norway, or my Vlogtober videos, you will remember that I was working on a advent calendar pattern, which I'm 3/4 of the way through. Can't remember. So I want to finish that, ideally by the end of the week. So I'm teaching on Friday. I would love to finish it by Thursday, maybe Friday evening, but definitely sometime over next weekend I need to finish that. So when I go home, whatever's left on this will just have to be left till that advent project is done. And then I've also got some other stuff I need to knit for some workshops and things. So that's why I'm keen to finish this. I didn't think I'd be able to finish it when I started it, but now that I'm so close to finishing it, I really want to finish it. So the plan today is to knit the sleeve, and then I can steam press it so that it looks a bit neat, because like the rib is like folding up and stuff. Once I press it, I'll be fine. And then if I've got time, I'll pick up and start doing the neckline. If I don't, then I'll do that on the train or the airport or the plane tomorrow. This is quite a big thing to knit on the plane. So I prefer to finish it before I get on the plane if I can. But I'm getting the train from here into Oslo and then train from Oslo to the airport. So if the train's not very busy, I might be able to knit on the train. And then I'll have probably about 2 hours to just relax and knit at the airport. I'm aiming to arrive at the airport 3 hours before my plane leaves. So by the time we're taking into account going through security, getting some to eat, going to the toilet, stocking up on some drinks and snacks for the trip, going through passport control, getting to the gate, all that kind of stuff. I've probably got like 2 hours left where I can just sit and chill and knit. So it's early Sunday morning. I was up first this morning. It is 9 o'clock now, and I'm going to go and see if I can get these stitches picked up before breakfast. It is Monday morning at just before 8 o'clock. I'm leaving this morning, so I'm filming this really early because I need to finish packing. I packed all the stuff I'm taking with me apart from this, and then I'll go pack, just put away the rest of the stuff I'm leaving and have breakfast. And I did the sleeve yesterday, so I'm very proud of myself. So I can't remember which sleeve I did yesterday and which one I did the day before. But both sleeves are done. So yesterday I knitted 7 hours exactly. That included sewing in all the remaining ends. So the ends around on the sleeves, and when I joined in a ball right at the bottom, just for the rib on the bottom of the body. So all in all this week, I have knitted 28 hours and 40 minutes. The least I did was Tuesday when I knitted 2 hours and 50 minutes. So when I timed myself last March, I did 23 hours and 14 minutes. And when I timed myself last summer, summer 2023, I knitted 18.5 hours. So I'm nearly 5.5 hours up on March, and 10 over 10 hours up on summer 2023. So I'm very proud of myself. The last couple of days, knitting 6 and 7 hours, if you'd asked me before I timed myself the first time, I would have said, yeah, I probably do about 5 or 6 hours a day. But I clearly don't. I've been very disciplined the last couple of days to stay off social media as much as possible and just knit. Obviously it's helped that I've been on holiday and I've not had to work, although I have been out for a walk every day and done other things, but I haven't done. Last night my plan was to do my nails. They still look okay, so I think they'll be fine. Do them tomorrow when I'm home. But I was really focused yesterday. I thought, right, I'm not doing anything else till I've finished this sweater. So I haven't finished the neckline. I actually didn't sleep very well last night. I slept really, really badly and woke up about 2, got up and went to the loo, and then I went back to try to get back to sleep, couldn't get back to sleep. So in the end I sat up in bed. If I'd been at home I would have got in the lounge and done some knitting, but I was worried about waking my mum up because she's a very light sleeper. So I sat in here on the bed and watched some stuff on YouTube. I didn't want to turn the light on, so I had the light from my phone. I tucked my phone into here so I could see enough to pick up the stitches for the neck. So I'm about halfway through the neck. So I'm hoping, because I'm not leaving for the airport for about 2.5 hours, we're going to have breakfast. So I'm hoping that I can finish this before I leave. I want to do some of my stretches this morning, because one of the reasons I couldn't sleep last night was because my hip and my back was a bit wonky. I got to have breakfast and clear up from that and just make sure I've got everything. So yeah, hopefully I can finish that and wear it when I'm traveling home today, because it's going to be really chilly this morning. It's like below 0 this morning, I think. But I'm really pleased. Let me know if you think you know how much you knit a week. Have you ever checked how much you knit a week? Do you knit more or less than you think you do? I mean, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that you're knitting the amount of time you enjoy. And, you know, we all have different amounts of time to knit. This is my job, so I knit more than most people. If you're working in a normal job and have family responsibilities and things, then probably you won't have time to knit as much as I do, and that's fine. But the fact that I knitted a lace weight sweater on 3mm needles in my size in 2 weeks, I'm pretty damn proud of myself. And I didn't run out of yarn. I have, hang on, where's it gone? I have about 3/4 of a ball left, so that's good news as well. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.